Kendall, what's up? Michael Phillips from Richmond. Wanted to get your thoughts about coming back to Richmond for training camp and what that experience is like for you.
It'll be exciting. I think the last time I went to Richmond was, I think, my second year. So just having the fans out there, especially going through the whole COVID season, seeing them out there early in training camp, always a lot of Hokie fans out there, so it'll definitely be exciting.
Hey, Kendall, John Keim. Chase Young was just saying that he thinks, on paper, this could be the top defense in the league. What are the expectations do you feel for this group?
We just put the work in every single day. We set our own expectations. Do what we do day in and day out to help us win football games on Sunday. And I think all those rankings and stuff like that, those things will play out as you go throughout the year, as you go out and win football games. But I think right now it's just being where your feet are, taking care of what you need to take care of right now, and let all that figure itself out.
Kendall, Sam Fortier with the Washington Post. I wonder, with all the, I guess remodeling on the defense and the secondary with so many guys that you've brought in, kind of how do you see that shaking out, and kind of what is your expectation, I guess, for your unit at least?
Coach Harris does a good job of just, setting the culture. He's a big energy guy. I think it's easy for new guys when new guys come in, because there's a certain standard that Coach Harris sets, certain culture, it just, I think guys love it. They just come right in, they feel at home, go out there, compete, help each other get better, and at the end of the day, just coming out, everybody competing, helping each other get better, and going out there and helping each other win football games on Sunday.
And to follow up, Chris interviewed for a defensive coordinator position. I wonder, could you help us understand, what makes him, stand out as a coach? What are some things that maybe that he does that is unique or stands out to you?
He just goes above and beyond. He always has energy. We always talk a lot about just being consistent, and whatever you bring to the team, you want to bring that day in and day out. You want them to be able to rely on what you bring to the table, and that's something that he does. We know that if we're down, he'll come running in the huddle, come pick us up. And, I think that happened today. He came in, we were a little down. He came in running in the huddle. I think 2 plays later, Will caught a pick. So just always being that, always expecting the most out of us, pushing us. And, it's something that we definitely need and rely on.
Thanks.
Hi, Kendall. Nikki Javala with Washington Post. Just to follow up on all the changes in the secondary, what has that transition been like for you to get adjusted to a number of new guys for the second year in a row, really?
Right now, we all just working, helping each other get better. If there's something that they don't understand, I definitely pride myself on being a guy where they can come and ask a question just to make it clear and things like that. But we just all just working, learning things. There's new things that we still put in, and we just all try to figure it out, and just making sure everybody's comfortable on the field so they can go out and play fast and not think.
And what are your early impressions of William Jackson in particular?
I love him. He's competitive, long, just rangy, can make plays. I think we came out the same year, so I've always kind of knew about him. I always knew his talent, and I think it's gonna be fun to play with him this year.
Hey, Kendall, it's Chris Russell. Speaking of William Jackson III and maybe a little bit of a philosophical change, Jack has kind of hinted around that you guys might be more in man this year. Is that something that you want to do, embrace, think would be maybe a better improvement for the defense as a whole, if that's the way it plays out?
I think, and I know the coaching staff, they pride themselves on having guys that can do a lot. I think even last year, I think towards the end of the year, we started running a lot more man, but just being able to switch it up, as a defensive coordinator, when you have a group of guys that can do a lot of different things, it makes it fun for defensive coordinators to be able to do this, do that. One game he can go in heavy man, one game he can go in heavy zone and things like that. But so it's gonna makes it fun for us as players, because every week, things can be different, things can change, and I think that'll help us be a top defense. So. I think for me, being in year 6, being in Kansas City, being here before, I think I played in nothing but man schemes, zone schemes. So, at the end of the day, it's just going out there and playing football.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right. Thanks, Kendall. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kendall.
All right, guys, we have Logan Thomas next. Go ahead and open it up.
Hey, Logan, there's been a lot of talk about how you're making a lot of strides here in year 2 as a tight end in Washington. What do you think has been your biggest stride so far?
I think it's being comfortable and confident within the system and understanding what I'm asked to do, just being able to put my footwork in the run game and then continue to grow into the passing game.
Do you feel like with guys like John Bates and Sam Reyes, even though you're new to the position, that you are also kind of in charge of tutoring them in the position as well?
I mean, Pete does a great job with those guys. He does a good job keeping his hands on them. Sometimes they ask me questions about certain things, what I see, what I look at, how I go about feeling certain things, and so yeah, I feel like the better that they play as well is the better this offense is going to be. So as much input as I think they need just to get them just a little thing here and there. I think I'll make not only our group but our offense that much better.
Logan, Scott Abraham, ABC7, good to see you. I mean, how does it feel to be back, the whole team back together again? What's the energy like, Logan?
The energy's up. It was a good time. And, last week the defense made some plays, but today we didn't hear them cheering too much. So that was a good day for us on the offensive side. But it's good to see everybody's face. It's nice being around the guys, just being around that team camaraderie, growing, building relationships, and getting excited for what we're building coming in August.
What do you think about the old veteran, Ryan Fitzpatrick, under center, getting to work with him? What do you like about him? What have you learned about him?
Another one of those guys that helps build team. He's an awesome guy. That was one of the first things I talked to a couple of my buddies around the league that have played with him. They say he's just one of the best guys you'll ever be around, and that's 100% true. Now, what he brings to the game is a guy who's going to flick the ball out there, let his guys go make some plays, and let us go do what we got to do in the pass game. And I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see how he plays going into the season.
Hey, Logan, I wanted to ask you about those first day of school pictures. They've been circulating around on the social media and the internet. What'd you think about that, holding up the sign like the old days of first day of school?
Well, I'm probably one of the few guys left on the team that can remember when you used to do that. Now, the young guys, they probably don't do that as much because I remember my kids haven't really done it. So yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's something that takes you back to your roots and kind of gives you a feel for how you were when you were younger.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Logan. Nikki Javala from the Washington Post. Just coming into this year, how much more comfortable do you feel just in the system, your role, et cetera?
I feel very comfortable. I feel very confident in my role and being able to speak to Scott and the offense and to Fitz and getting on the same page as them. I think that's the big thing for me is, I know how I can play, how I will play. It's just right now is just getting on the same page as those guys.
I mean, having worked with a number of quarterbacks in the past, what is your approach there? Are there certain things you do to kind of build that rapport, build that trust with a new quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's just staying in constant communication. Just kind of however you build a relationship in the real world is the same way you build a relationship on the football field. And, you talk about certain plays and how you want it run and ask him how he wants us to run it and what he's looking for body language wise. And so it's just, just communicating, talking, watching a little film together and just getting on the same page in that way.
I wanted to follow up on Samus. I think a lot of us are really intrigued by that story. Now, first off, did you ever play basketball at all? Were you ever leaning that way?
Yeah, I'd say Samus is probably a media darling for you guys. He's lived a heck of a life already, especially to be as young as he is still. But yeah, I played basketball growing up. I think there's definitely some translation between the sports. It's one of those, go up and get it. It applies to a lot of the thing in tight end. Sometimes you got to go make some tough plays, but he's more than that. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic. He's shown that he's smart and he's starting to pick it up pretty quickly, especially for a guy who's never played not only the position before, but never played football before. He's doing a great job. I'm very proud of him. I tell him every day, just find something to get better at today. Don't have to worry about the full picture. We've got a little bit of time, but find something to get better at today. And So far, he's exceeded my expectations on how quick he's picking it up.
And then for you personally, how has this offseason been different from the last, kind of without not as much COVID? Are you able to be at home, be with the family a little bit more now since the season's been ended?
Yeah. Well, last year, obviously, I was at the home with the fam for pretty much the whole time. But this year, I've actually been able to go out and do some other things that are, more fun things than just, sitting at the house and playing in the backyard and just cutting up in that way. So it's been very nice just to have a little freedom and just be, show them some things that, life we didn't have last year.
Anyone else?
That's all I got.
Great. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Logan.
Appreciate it.